Hey guys, Ben with you. Just want to talk you through some of the differences on the Mac. So I've prepared a slide which will summarize it. Firstly, menus stick to the top of the screen, not the app. That's typical in a Mac, but just bear in mind that it won't be stuck. This stuff, Window, Edit, Unity Hub, won't be stuck, of course, to the top of the floating window, but at the top left. Okay, so that's simple enough, very standard to the Mac. Another thing that's very standard to the Mac is that there's an extra menu with the name of the app in it, which you won't see on Windows. So Unity Hub, when we're in Unity Hub, when we're over in Unity, we get the Unity menu, and therein lies a couple of the things you may otherwise have trouble finding, like Unity Preferences, for example, would be a typical one we might ask you to go to. In fact, let's go there now as practice. Let's go to Unity Preferences, and then in there, I want you to go down to External Tools and make sure that your external script editor is set to Visual Studio here. That one there. The rest of these boxes can stay default, but the external script editor should be Visual Studio. Okay, cool. So that's that. Now, what else to watch out for? Well, the fonts are prettier. That's just me being funny, if you think it's funny. So hidden files. Well, they're hidden by default. We don't need to go into detail about how to change that yet. We'll deal with that when we get to version control. But bear in mind that when you're in Finder, if there are hidden files, they won't show up on the Mac. And they're a lot harder to turn on the Mac than they are on the PC. But we'll deal with that as and when we need to. And Visual Studio Community has a very different heritage over here on the Mac. So if we open up Visual Studio Community, then it's actually not the same at all, really. It's still called Visual Studio Community, but it's built on something called Xamarin and also incorporates MonoDevelop. So it's just a different heritage. So it's a slightly different package. It'll look and feel a little bit different. All right, over here in Visual Studio Community, if you're ever granted with like a blank screen like this, it may be helpful to go to View, Paths, and Solution. And if you do that, and you've opened your script from Unity, let's imagine we've double-clicked the script from Unity, opens up Visual Studio, you'll see your script there. So this is another way to navigate around. Same in the PC, but just wanted to let you know that this is where you find it on the Mac. The Solution Pad helps you find your way around your files. We, of course, going to be just typing into Start when we do our exercises in this section. Otherwise, it's very similar. You save, you get a very similar kind of little icon here that comes up. This circle comes up when you start typing, and it obviously tells you that this file is unsaved. That's what that circle means by hello world there. So if I save the file, the little circle goes away, and then you just have a closed tab. So that's a bit different. Of course, the maximize, minimize, all that stuff's going to little bit different. Again, different menu, Visual Studio Community, Preferences. You find them there if you need them. What else have we got for you? That's it, really. Some of the code completion may be different. So you'll see Rick typing, for instance, print, and you open a bracket. Now, exactly what this does compared to the PC and exactly where the red underlines come up might be slightly different. What I want you to do is focus on looking through this and just looking at what we've actually written in here, and just deal with the tiny differences that you may see between Mac and PC in terms of what it tries to fill in for you. Otherwise, Mac and PC are going to be very, very similar. The Unity Hub has made it much, much easier for us because it's very similar on Mac and PC. You'll see slightly differences in the path here and maybe the way that these things look as you look around the menus. But basically, it shouldn't be too disorientated at all on the Mac. It's going to be very similar, Mac and PC. Unity itself, in particular, is very, very similar between the two of them. So, hope this helps you, people who are on Mac. Any questions, do ask, and I'll look forward to seeing you later on in the course.